Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to more Sanctuary House conversions, and today, as you can see, we've got a double-storey building started up in the kind of middle of Sanctuary Hills, and maybe the observant among you can guess what I've built today. I hope you're going to enjoy this one. This one was probably my most demanding build thus far, and yeah, it took a while to get done. Let's do it! So before we get started on today's build, I wanted to go back to this build that we did a couple of weeks back, this kind of the entry point into Sanctuary Hills, because a couple of you had some suggestions of what we could add to this particular conversion, and thank you so much. I encourage you, if you have got some ideas that you see when I'm during a build that you think would help the over aesthetic of the build or would improve the design, I'm open to that. And so I've got a couple of suggestions which I've implemented here, and I'm going to take you through them before we look at today's build. How does that sound? Fantastic, thank you for asking. Okay, so you might notice this weird building here, and somebody suggested, well, G4, when settlers come into Sanctuary Hills, don't you want to decontaminate them? Easy for you to say, Rui. Yep. So I've built a decontamination area. Whoa, that's a big word, isn't it? So here we go, we'll walk in here and we have the decontamination sprays like this. There you go, and you can have a wee shower, or if you just want to get washed, you can just have a wee shower. There you go, and life's good. So these do work, just wanted to demonstrate that. So there you go, that's what it looks like, and it's under the awning here, under the car port or whatever you call it in your kind of part of the world. So yeah, I made that. Another thing that some people pointed at, and we got to fix that too, look at that. That's awful. That's awful, G4. How come you didn't get that straight? Anyway. So something somebody else pointed at is, wouldn't you have a level of security if this was a checkpoint? So they suggested we put a metal detector in. So I used, see, there's a metal detector there, see it? I used this is actually a power armor station, display station. So we have a kind of metal detector so that if anybody's got anything they shouldn't have, we'll pick it up. Dogmeat, stop opening the door, thank you. And thirdly, last thing that struck me was that, yeah, there may be some trouble here at this checkpoint. So you would think that the people behind the desk might have some kind of weaponry ready just in case. So I've added those in. So 3 little elements to the build, but I think they make a big difference. Okay, let's fast forward and we'll go up to the new build today, and I'll show you around. So we're going to concentrate on this house here today, this one here, and yeah, we're going to do a fairly extensive conversion on it. Now, the observant among you might say, hang on a minute, it's G4, I can never remember that house being there before. Well, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But we did do quite an extensive refurb on this, and you'll see we've turned it into a double story house, and boy oh boy did this conversion kind of challenge me a lot to get this double story done, but we got it done, and there is a specific reason for it, and you'll see in a second why I had to do the double conversion. It's not something that I think I've seen anybody do before, so I thought, just for that point of view, why not? And by the way, I'm tricking you. This house is actually from the Dead Wasteland mod, and I dropped it in here just to stop you breaking a foo-foo valve. So let's go over to the tour and show you around, because this took a lot of building and a lot of decoration. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. We built a hospital. Stroke doctor's place of residence. Yeah, so you can see that double story blends in pretty well with the overall build. And yeah, I spent a bit of time just chucking a whole lot of stuff in here. Got to fix that there. That's bleeding through the wall. That's pretty easy fix. But yeah, it's it looks like it should be there. and I junked a lot of this up here just to make it look as though they've definitely come along. This has been abandoned, this place, and they've decided to convert it into something that they require. So this is a hospital on one side and a doctor's surgery on the other side. This is the one for not only the settlement but the surrounding area. So if you are sick or you need attention, this is where you would come to. Now, of course, some people will need to come out and sit outside at some point. I wouldn't suggest they sit on that too hard, but there is a bench here you can sit down, and if you need to have a cigarette or something, or come out and just get some sunshine, some radiation or whatever, you can do that. These shutters are from a new mod I'm playing around with, and they are adjustable, look, like that, and they're on all the windows. Spent a lot of time patching the roof a little bit, and I've got used to it. This took a long time to get right, but I think you agree that whole second story all fixes in, and I used the carport that was there and just built on top of it. Yeah, go away, sir. So let's go in and show you. So on this side we have the doctor's surgery, on that side we have the hospital. So let's go in here first, because this kind of doubles up as the hospital waiting room. So you bring people in here. Obviously we have magazines and whatnot, so that if you're here for a while, you can read them. Report into reception here, and they'll ask you to take a seat. And depending on what you need, you might have to go through there, or you might have to go up the hallway in a minute. So through here, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get rid of this little bloke again. I always forget to do this, and it's become a kind of tradition in these videos to kind of, yeah.
Over here.
Stay.
Wait there.
Thank you. To put dog meat outside, I always forget to do that. So come to reception, ask you to take a seat, and depending on what service you're requiring, you might have to go up and see the doctor, or you might have to go next door. So obviously they have their little office here and all the patient files, and the first thing that you might do is you might get assessed by the nurse. So we have a little triage area in here. You come in here and the nurse will assess you and see what you need, and then she'll make a recommendation on whether you see the doctor or whether you need more further medical attention. We've got a whole lot of supplies in here. It's kind of supply closet. Pretty nice. You'll find a lot of these shelves, especially in Dead Wasteland mod. And I'm starting to use that mod a lot more these days. So you sit there, wait for the nurse, and the nurse will come and get you and treat you. And if it's only kind of minor ailment, or if maybe you've got an appointment you're going to need to see the doctor about, there are 2 doctors on call at this point. So you get doctor number 1 that lives in here and has some special services. I don't know what that chair's for, but anyway. Get your ailments seen to. And then in the second one, we do offer some other services in here. I love the fact that they've got first aid just in case they forget it. And yeah, I don't know quite what that surgery chair's for, and it's almost like Matrix time. I really probably don't want to know. So that's it. If you want to see the doctor, you can. There we go. Pretty nice. If you are quite poorly and you need emergency treatment, then there is an emergency department right through the doors here. You come in, you know, report to the nurse or the doctor, and yeah, we're into the emergency bay. And this is pretty comprehensive emergency bay. There's all kinds of stuff going on in here. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Yeah, okay, moving right along. So, got these overhead lights, which I found were much better than these kind of standing ones, for lighting this whole place up. So yeah, it's you got everything you need in case you get yourself into trouble. We've got a guide on first aid, just in case. Obviously, the doctor needs to wash his hands a lot. So there you go. There's your emergency department. And then, if you're really seriously injured or whatever, you might have to be admitted. And so there is a little part up here. So we've got a little nurses station up here. If you have to be admitted to the hospital, you have a ward up the top here. And you might have to stay here for a couple of days and get some kind of longer term treatment. Somebody had some cookies. Okay. So there you go, guys. That is the hospital. It did take a lot of building and decorating and thinking, and it wasn't as straightforward as you might think. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. If you did, a like rating's always appreciated. It really does help us out here on G4's channel. And if you want to see more or you have suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. We'll catch you next time. I'll see ya.